Have you ever stared at your bank account so long that it started to feel personal? Like your savings balance looked you dead in the eye and said, "Not today, not ever." Maybe try a lottery ticket. You're working, you're trying, you're doing all the things you're supposed to do, but that first $100,000 feels like it's sitting behind a velvet rope at a club you're definitely not on the list for. Here's what's wild though. That first $100,000 isn't just a number, it's a threshold. It's the point where your money stops being a passive passenger in your life and starts actually doing some of the heavy lifting for you. Once you cross it, the next $100,000 comes faster. Then the one after that comes even faster. That's not motivation poster nonsense. That's just how compound growth works. My name is Blake, and I've spent a lot of time studying exactly why some people sprint to that first $100,000, while others spend years spinning their wheels and going nowhere. Today, I'm giving you 9 specific strategies that can get you there faster than you think, and I'm saving the biggest one for last, because when you hear it, you're going to wonder why nobody ever just said it out loud before. Make sure you subscribe before we dive in, because I put out videos like this every week, and you do not want to be the last person at your office to figure this stuff out. But before we get into the strategies, let me tell you what's actually going on here. Most people approach saving money the same way they approach eating healthy in January, full of energy, totally committed, absolutely certain that this time is different. And then by February, they're back to ordering takeout and wondering why they can't make progress. The problem isn't discipline. It's not willpower. It's not that you're bad with money. The problem is that nobody handed you a real system. You've been given a bucket with holes in it and told to just keep filling it up. You pour money in, it leaks out, and at the end of the month, you have basically nothing to show for it. The people who reach $100,000 quickly aren't necessarily earning more than you. They're just using a different bucket, one without the holes. And that's exactly what we're building today. Let's get into it. Strategy number 9. Stop donating money to the government. I know, taxes aren't exactly thrilling dinner conversation, but stay with me for a second, because this might be the most overlooked free money in your entire financial life. Most people put more thought into which streaming service to cancel than into how much they're overpaying in taxes every single year. And that's a problem, because taxes are probably your single biggest expense, bigger than rent, bigger than your car, bigger than everything else combined. Here's the good news. The government actually built escape hatches into the tax code. They're called tax-advantaged accounts, things like 401k accounts and IRAs. And using them isn't a loophole or a trick, it's literally what they're designed for. Here's how it works. If you're earning $50,000 a year and you put $10,000 into a traditional 401k, you only get taxed on $40,000. If you're in the 22% tax bracket, that's $2,200 back in your pocket every single year. That's not a rounding error, that's a strategy. The government is essentially subsidizing your wealth building, and most people are too busy complaining about taxes to cash in on it. Strategy number 8. Pick up the free money your employer is leaving on your desk. This one is almost embarrassing how many people miss it. If your employer offers a 401k match and you're not contributing enough to get the full match, you are literally turning down free money, not figuratively, literally. Let's say your employer matches 50 cents for every dollar you put in, up to 6% of your salary. If you make $50,000, that's $1,500 of free money per year just sitting there waiting for you to claim it. Show me another investment that gives you a guaranteed 50% return on day one before the market even opens. I'll wait. People will spend 3 hours price comparing laptops to save $40, but they'll leave $1,500 of guaranteed employer money on the table because they think they can't afford to contribute to their 401k. You can't afford not to.
Strategy number 7. Create income that has one job. And that job is not paying for your lifestyle. Here's where conventional financial advice gets it backwards. They tell you to live below your means. which basically translates to make your life smaller, cut things you enjoy, and hope the math eventually works out. There's a better way. Instead of shrinking your life, expand your income, but keep your lifestyle exactly where it is. Pick up a freelance project, sell something, start a small thing on weekends. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is the rule. This money has one job. It goes straight to your $100,000 target. It never touches your regular budget. When you separate it mentally like that, saving aggressively stops feeling like deprivation. You're not cutting anything. You're just directing extra fuel to the right place. Strategy number 6. Stop spending your dividends. I know, when that dividend payment hits your account, it feels amazing, like your investments are sending you a thank you note in cash. But here's what most people don't realize. The income isn't the point. The compounding is the point. When you reinvest dividends instead of spending them, you buy more shares. Those shares pay you more dividends, which buy more shares, which pay more dividends. It's a loop that builds on itself quietly in the background for years. Here's the number that puts it in perspective. Over the past century, the S&P 500 returned about 10.7% annually with dividends reinvested. Without reinvesting, 6.6%. That 4% gap doesn't sound catastrophic until you run it out 30 years and realize it's the difference between a comfortable retirement and a very stressful one. Every dividend payment is a choice. Spend it today or let it buy you more freedom tomorrow. Strategy number 5. Stop paying fees that are eating your returns alive. Investment fees are like a slow leak in your tire. You don't notice it day to day, but keep driving, and eventually you're sitting on the side of the road wondering what happened. Here's the thing about fees. They compound, just like your returns do, except they compound against you. The difference between a fund that charges 1% annually and one that charges 0.1% seems tiny. Over 30 years, that difference can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars for the exact same investment, same product, different price tag. There is no reason to pay more. Index funds that track the S&P 500 are essentially identical regardless of which company offers them. Pick the cheaper one. It takes 10 minutes, and it could save you more money than almost any other decision you make this year.
Strategy number 4. Stop trying to be clever with your timing. Every few months, the market drops, and someone in your life, maybe you, starts saying things like, "I'm going to wait until things calm down before I invest." And that sounds reasonable. It feels smart. It is not smart. The data on market timing is brutal and consistent. The average investor who tries to time the market underperforms the market itself by several percentage points every year. Because the best days in the market almost always happen right after the worst days. When everything feels scary and people are selling, that's exactly when the recovery begins. And if you're sitting in cash waiting for things to calm down, you miss it. If you miss just the 10 best days in the market over a 30-year period, your returns get cut nearly in half. Your job when building your first $100,000 is simple. Put money in consistently and leave it alone. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Strategy number 3, stop overthinking what to invest in. There are two kinds of people when it comes to picking investments. The first kind spends hours researching individual stocks, convinced they're about to find the next Amazon before anyone else does. They usually end up with a portfolio that looks like the result of a very confident coin flip. The second kind doesn't think about it at all, leaves everything in a savings account, earning basically nothing, and calls that being safe. Both are expensive mistakes. Here's the unsexy truth. For most people building their first $100,000, a simple broad market index fund, something that tracks the S&P 500, is the right answer. You get a piece of around 500 of the largest companies in the world. You don't need to read earnings reports or predict what the Fed is going to do next Tuesday. You just own a slice of American business and let it grow. Simple wins here, every time. Strategy number 2, protect your savings rate like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Here's the trap that catches almost everyone.
You start out making $40,000. Modest apartment, reasonable car, lots of pasta. Then you get a raise to $55,000 and you decide you deserve a nicer place. Then another raise, and suddenly you need a newer car. Before long, you're making twice what you started with, and you're somehow still living paycheck to paycheck. That's lifestyle inflation, and it is the single most effective wealth-destroying force that nobody ever warns you about. Every time your income goes up, you have a choice. Let your lifestyle absorb it, or let your investment account absorb it. Studies consistently show that beyond a certain baseline, more spending doesn't actually make people happier. The upgrade from a Honda to a BMW feels incredible for about 3 weeks. Then it's just your car. Meanwhile, that car payment is silently pushing your $100,000 target further and further away. The rule is simple. Every time you get a raise, automatically redirect at least half of it to your investment account before your lifestyle even knew it existed. And strategy number 1, the one I've been building toward. The single biggest lever most people have and almost nobody pulls it. Housing costs. If you're spending more than 30% of your income on housing, you are making it nearly impossible to build wealth at any meaningful speed. For a lot of people, it's 40%, 50%, sometimes more. At that point, you're not building a financial future, you're just keeping a roof over your head and calling it a life. Here's what makes housing different from every other expense on this list. It's also the most flexible, even though most people treat it like it's written in stone. Getting a roommate, moving one zip code over, house hacking, buying a small duplex, living in one unit, renting the other. These aren't desperate moves, they're strategic ones. Let's put a number on it. Say you're spending $2,000 a month on housing, and you find a way to get that to $1,200. That's $800 a month freed up, nearly $10,000 a year. Invested consistently at average market returns over 20 years, that single change adds over $500,000 to your net worth. $500,000 from one decision about where you live. I'm not saying do it forever. I'm saying do it for a few years while you build the foundation. Once your investments are generating real returns, you can live wherever you want because your money will be helping pay for it. Here's the thing about all 9 of these strategies. None of them is a secret. None of them requires a finance degree or a high salary or a lucky break. What they require is a decision, made today, not someday, to stop letting money drift through your hands and start directing it somewhere on purpose. When you stack these strategies together, they don't just add up, they multiply. Tax savings give you more to invest. Employer matching gives you free returns. Extra income goes straight to the goal. Reinvested dividends compound silently. Low fees keep more of what you earn. Staying the course means you never miss the recoveries. The right investments give you steady growth. Protecting your savings rate keeps the engine running. And optimizing housing frees up more fuel than anything else on the list. That first $100,000 is the hardest one, not because the math is complicated, it isn't, but because you're doing all the work yourself before compound interest starts doing any of it for you. Cross that threshold and everything changes. The next $100,000 comes faster, then the one after that. The snowball starts rolling and momentum takes over. Your future self is going to look back at the decision you make today and either thank you or wonder why you waited. Make it easy for them.